The Very Lonely Firefly by Carle. As the sun set, a little firefly was born. It stretched its wings and flew off into the darkening sky. It was a lonely firefly, and it flashed its lights, searching for other fireflies. The firefly saw a light and flew toward it, but it was not another firefly. It was a light bulb lighting up the night. And there's a guy, and he says, "Hear that noise?" The firefly saw a light and flew toward it, but it was not another firefly. It was a candle flickering in the night. And she says, "What's going on?" There's the candle, and there's the firefly looking to see what that light is. The firefly saw a light and flew toward it, but it was not another firefly. It was a flashlight shining in the night. So there's the firefly, and he's looking over at the flashlight, and this guy says, "Quiet out there." The firefly saw a light and flew toward it, but it was not another firefly. It was a lantern glowing in the night. And he says, "What is it? Hey, stop fighting." And there's the firefly, and he's flying down towards the lantern to see what it is. The firefly saw several lights and flew toward them, but they were not other fireflies. There was a dog and he says, "Grrr, bow wow." A cat and meow. Looking at the cat's eyes. And an owl, their eyes reflecting the lights. Woohoo! So there's the big owl with his eyes, and the firefly's attracted to the light in his eyes. The firefly saw a light and flew toward it, but it was not another firefly. It was a car's headlights flooding the night. And there they are in the car, and they can see the firefly, and they said, "Look, wow, it's beautiful." The firefly saw many lights and flew toward them, but they were not other fireflies. They were fireworks, sparkling and glittering and shimmering in the night. When all was quiet, the firefly flew through the night, flashing its light, looking and searching again. Then the very lonely firefly saw what it had been looking for. A group of fireflies flashing their lights. Now the firefly wasn't lonely anymore. If you look carefully at this book, these fireflies are lighting up their lights. Okay, so today we're going to make a picture of some fireflies. And I basically just started with a nice piece of paper, so you can use a blue piece of paper to make your night sky, to make it look like a firefly sky, so the fireflies can light up. So any shade of blue you want. And then I've used some yellow pencil crayon, or you could use white chalk or yellow chalk. And I did a moon up in the corner with some stars. And then for the fireflies, I'm using Band-Aids. So you can use whatever Band-Aids you have at your house. You can use printed Band-Aids or colored Band-Aids or plain Band-Aids. So everybody has some Band-Aids, whatever you have at your house. So I used yellow ones because it looks like his wings are lighting up. So I'm going to stick the Band-Aids on. Okay, so there's his wings. And then I took my pencil crayon, or you can use your chalk, and I made some little antennas for him. So pick a color that's going to show up on your paper. And then I also have some little eyes to add. Little tiny eyes. Put a tiny little spot of glue on the back of those. And stick that on your firefly. Okay, and then fireflies usually have a little bit of a pointed tail, so you can use your pencil crayon to make him a tail. Right, so if that's all you have at home, you can do that with your band-aids and your eyes and your pencil crayon. But I have decided to try to add some stuff to make it look like my fireflies are lighting up. So I have a little piece of sparkly foam paper, and you could use a piece of colored foil as well if you want. And so I want the sparkly side to be showing through my paper. So what I'm going to do is, instead of sticking it on, I'm going to put the sparkly side facing down over the hole that I poked. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it makes a little bit of a shimmer inside his tail. So I just ended up using a pair of scissors to poke a hole. If you need to get a parent to help you do that, please do. Or you can use a hole puncher if you can have a hole puncher that's long enough to reach. So you need to poke a little hole in there carefully with a parent. And then I have one of these battery operated tea lights, and I'm going to poke it through the hole and make it look like the firefly's lighting up. So there, and he has a little light, and it looks like his light is on in the night sky.